The sponsor of today's video, Noom.
Bologna and melted cheese crumble. Place that right on top and topped it off with a frying pan. Now you tell me, how does it...
That looks like beast mode, baby. Beast mode, baby. Chef Briantsao here, not your typical chef, and today I'm gonna be reacting to Guga Foods' I made 3 $1 sandwiches better than expensive one. Before I go on with today's episode, I do want to give a shout out to my newest sous chef level patrons, Aaron Argalis, Greg Perry, Shauna Blackwood. Thank you so much for your support. You guys, along with all the sous chef level patrons, really do make a difference on this channel. For those of you who are watching and want to support further, please consider becoming a patron. Visit the link in the description below. By becoming a patron, you get to take advantage of some awesome perks like early access to new episodes, but also exclusive content for patrons only. And finally, if you can follow me on Instagram at chefbriantsao, that would be greatly appreciated, as that is definitely where I am most active.
I have made some incredible sandwiches in my cooking journey. Some of them are so
Talking
good
my
that
language.
they can make a real meal look boring. However, most of the time I've used premium ingredients in order to cook sandwiches.
I have seen the thumbnail for this Philly cheesesteak that I think he uses Wagyu beef for. I actually want to do something crazy like that at my shop. Mission Sandwich Social, I should mention, I was very excited to see this video. Many of you did, mention that I should react to this. I own a sandwich shop in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, called Mission Sandwich Social. I do all kinds of crazy sandwich combinations, but I am very curious to see what Guga can pull off, and especially considering, the theme of this video is inexpensive sandwiches, but they taste better than, expensive ones. Yeah, you can totally make delicious, inexpensive sandwiches. They exist at every corner of New York City, and you get them from magical places called bodegas.
However, today that is completely different. Will I be able to create something incredible out of cheap cuts? Well, let's find out, as I'll be cooking the cheapest sandwiches I can make.
Nice.
So let's begin. And the very first one is going to be this.
Ooh, look at that. So this is an open-faced sandwich, what looks like some kind of chimichurri and fried egg. I love fried eggs on top of anything. Some people are weirded out by that. What do you think of it? Like, well, what's your take? I know some people who are completely weirded out by having eggs outside of breakfast. Curious to hear what you think.
This sandwich will cost you $1.50. It's not gonna break the bank, and let's see how good it really is, and here's how. The first thing to do is to make a red chimichurri sauce. And to do this, it is super easy. Into a bowl, I threw in some chopped parsley, followed by dry oregano, diced rolled bell peppers, a tiny bit of garlic, followed by shallots, smoked paprika, a hint of lemon juice, red wine vinegar, a good amount of avocado oil, followed by a tiny bit of olive oil. Mixed everything well and bring the ingredients together. As to finish it off, you want to season it with salt, followed by freshly ground black pepper to taste. As once you mix it a little bit more, your red chimichurri sauce is done.
Beautiful. Chimichurri that I like to do, I'm told by my really good friend David Castillo. Shout out to David Castillo. The style I do is more Argentinian. Correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently Argentinian style has oregano, is more oregano and cilantro based. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Dave said Colombian style. He's Colombian, is more green onion and parsley based. Pulling from the top of my head, so I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. But chimichurri is probably one of my all-time favorite condiments. Guga pulled it off perfectly here. He used a mixture of fresh and dried herbs, the dried herbs being the oregano. This is a red variant, so he put in some really, very minced roasted bell pepper. But to me, what really makes a chimichurri is the vinegar, raw garlic, and the shallots. I mean, and the fresh herbaceousness of it is just, it's just wonderful.
Talking about sandwiches, the next ingredient is cheese. Now I like to grate my own mozzarella cheese.
Nice.
And if you do it in the food processor, it will melt very easily. For the meat, I chose this Argentinian.
Oh, Argentinian sausage? Okay. Mozzarella cheese, great melting cheese. I mean, who's gonna disagree with that, right?
Not only are they inexpensive, they are super tasty. Believe it or not, one sausage is enough for 3 sandwiches. Because let me show you how.
Oh, okay. So from what I'm seeing, he's holding it like this, so I'm guessing like each piece is about that big. Okay, I would say that's about $1.50 food cost. When Guga is saying this is $1.50, it's just purely food cost.
First, we need some
think
bread.
that's
You can
fairly
literally
accurate.
use any bread you like. The first thing to do is to
I'm guessing Guga and I have somewhat similar sized hands, so I'm gonna say the bread's about that big. You know, they're like slightly bigger than dinner rolls, or maybe twice the size of a dinner roll. So yeah, $1.50 for something like that. You have 2 or 3. I mean, for me, it may be like 4. But yeah, 2 of those fill you right up.
basically trying to make a canoe here. Then you want to start it up by filling it up with mozzarella cheese. Now grab that sausage meat and spread it out on your hands and put it right on top.
Okay, so he said out of 1 sausage, he gets 3 portions. I'm gonna take his word for it. That seems like, maybe not. Okay, he said up to 3. To me, that looks like more like half a sausage. I'm not knocking him though. I'm just kind of making my observations.
Is to bring it all the way up to the edges, because the next thing to do is to take it outside to grill it. First, I like to light up a very little amount of charcoal right in the middle of my cooker. Now, I highly recommend you letting the charcoal settle down for a little bit. The last thing we want is for the bread to burn. You want to cook this nice and slow until it reaches an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit on the meat. Your goal is to
Yes, so for ground meats, typically you want to cook to 165 degrees to kill off any viruses, bacteria, any pathogens. Generally, once you hit 165, you've killed off everything. Now, ground beef, it's very common for people to eat beef burgers, medium rare. You are taking a chance. And why are you taking a chance? Remember in past videos, I would talk about how something like beef in particular, everything grows, any pathogens, any germs, all that stuff grows on the outside. So if you sear it, you're good to go. You can have it medium rare. When you ground something up, everything's getting mixed together. So any pathogens, any viruses, bacteria that was on the outside is now getting mixed inside. So you are taking a risk of eating something below 165 degrees when it comes to ground meat products. Now with beef, in general, it's pretty much okay, especially in the States. It's pretty safe, but that's why some places like fast food places will always serve you well-done burgers, because the grade of their beef isn't particularly good or clean. It's a liability if they serve it to you, below well done, because you could potentially get them sick. Consider any of the major fast food burger chains, how many thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of burgers they're serving every day, week of the year. Guga is spot on with cooking this to 165 degrees. Can you still eat your beef burgers at medium rare? Yes, but you are taking a chance. And if you are grinding the stuff yourself and making your own patties, you're probably a lot safer, because you're literally watching it happen, right?
Just like this. Ooh. And most importantly, have your cheese melt and a tiny bit of char on the bread.
I do believe that now that I saw the thickness of that meat inside the casing, I would say 3 sausages. One sausage will give you 3 portions for what he's making here.
Take a look. All of them are perfectly grilled, and the sausage has that nice little crust which I was looking for. Now to finish it up, I fried up an egg in a non-stick skillet.
You see what he's doing here? His egg game is on point. He's using a nonstick pan, number 1, using a lot of oil, and you can see the egg's not at this rolling boil. It's not cooking very fast. There's no crust on the end. I think he started this either on low, possibly even cold. Put the egg on there. Remember, it's a nonstick pan already. And that egg, facilitates heat transfer. Having a lot of oil will give you a more consistent heat transfer throughout the egg. And then as the pan raises in heat, it'll gradually cook the egg, warm the yolk. And like I said, when you do it from cold to hot, then it gives the egg whites enough time to cook through. How many times have you gone to like a diner where they cook the eggs on a griddle? They do it sunny side up, but there's always a part that's, a bit raw and kind of snotty looking. You just have to make sure you have a really good nonstick pan.
Salt followed by freshly ground black pepper, because now it was ready for the assembly. So after placing the egg right on top,
look at that. Yeah, that egg is perfectly cooked. Perfect. Egg white, bottom to top, all consistently cooked, and there's no brown edging. I do like brown edges on my, I like crispy fried eggs too as well, especially Asian cuisine. When I say Asian cuisine, like, you know, China, Korea, you know, Southeast Asia actually more particularly cook their eggs. When they fry their eggs, sunny side up is fried really hard and gets a really thick crust. I actually love those eggs as well. It just depends on what application. But for this, a soft cook, sunny side up egg, the egg's gonna be tender, it's gonna be easy to bite into. Nice.
Went in with that chimichurri sauce we just made in the beginning. Now you take a look at this, because for $1.50, this thing is amazing. You're gonna be seeing us trying this real shortly. Yes. Because now we still got 2 more sandwiches to make.
Beautiful. He said $1.50 cost, so I'm gonna kind of like go through my head and my pricing may be a little inaccurate because I live in New York. Maybe it's more expensive than where he lives. I'm not sure. So that kind of roll, if I went to my bodega, it'd probably be 50 cents to $1 a piece, and then he cuts it in half, so then that's 50 cents, right? Because he's only using 1/2. And then the chimichurri, one portion of that, let's say anywhere between 5 to 10 cents. Let's put it at 8 cents. Let's Google price of sausage. Argentinian sausage. $4.50 a pound. One sausage link is 3 ounces because there's 5 pieces in a package for this one. So 30 cents for that portion of sausage. Mozzarella cheese, I can tell you off the top of my head, when I went to my supermarket to get some fresh mozzarella cheese, it was like $6 for a ball, 1 pound ball of fresh mozzarella. I'm pretty sure he's not using fresh mozzarella, but I'm gonna do my math based on this. You know, again, he's not using the expensive fresh mozzarella, so let's bump that down to like, I don't know, 20 cents. Again, I'm off the top of my head pretty much. And then eggs is like $5 a dozen right now, so $5 divided by 12, so 1 egg is 41 cents. Oh shit, okay. I calculated $1.51, spot on the money. I have 0 questions. My hat and bald head goes to you, Guga Foods.
School in the 80s, you know that this sandwich was extremely popular because this sandwich is all about 100% beef bologna. As this sandwich will cost you $1.05 per serving.
Breakfast sandwiches is some of my favorite sandwiches on earth. There is a bodega right across the street from Mission Sandwich Social, and once a week I treat myself to their Hungry Man breakfast sandwich, which is ham, bacon, sausage, American cheese, and egg. And I add salt, pepper, ketchup on a Kaiser roll. Dude, and they charge $6, which again, they're charging $6. I would agree, you know, the food cost alone, just food cost, $1.05? Yeah, I would pretty much agree with that. No, maybe a little more actually. Then again, I just calculated the other sandwich and it was pretty spot on. The place has got to pay rent. They're paying liability, disability, workers' comp insurance. They're paying for electricity, gas. They are paying for the labor for the person to cook. They're paying for the bag, the paper that the sandwich is wrapped in. You know, so you can quickly see, and the guy has to make a profit at the end of the day. He's not doing it for charity, right? So at the end of the day, you know, $6 in my neighborhood where my shop is, which is, you know, pretty wealthy neighborhood. For me, that's still a bargain.
Score the bologna so that we can smoke it. You can do whatever type of design you like. Once that's done, go ahead and add your favorite barbecue rub. Some people actually like using mustard as a binder when they do this. However, for me, it's unnecessary. The rub sticks just fine. Once done, outside I went to put it in my smoker. It was at 350 degrees Fahrenheit and I smoked it until I was happy with the color. Because this is what I was left with. Not your everyday bologna. Since the barbecue rub had a little bit of sugar, it even created a nice little bark. And as I take some slices, oh man, the smell of this thing is intoxicating. I cannot wait to give this a try on a sandwich. Talking about that, we gotta finish this up. For the bread, I went with sandwich bread. Into the toaster oven he went, and as you can see, it came out nice golden brown. The next thing I decided to do is to go ahead and caramelize some onions.
I like that he uses avocado. I like avocado oil a lot. It has a high smoke point, but it's also very neutral in flavor, even more so than vegetable oil or canola oil. I mean, take these oils and smell them side by side. Avocado oil is very, very neutral.
Them cook nice and slow. For the cheese, these are the ones I chose today.
American cheese.
And the good old American cheese.
Yo, I don't care what any of y'all say that live outside of America, American cheese is cheese and it's delicious. I love my processed American cheese all day long, baby. All day long. Processed, melty, ooey gooey American cheese. Yeah, USA. Woo, woo, USA. Woo, woo.
This will be perfect for the bologna. Talking about that, the only thing left to do now is to put it all together. So first, I started by frying my bologna just a little bit. Then I added a pepper jack cheese, followed by the American. Another slice of bologna right on top, and repeat the whole thing one more time. As now, the only thing left to do was to assemble.
Nice touch. Yeah, so you put the pan on there, not to entirely cover it, but he's trapping some moisture, and that's gonna help melt the cheese.
Caramelized onion I just made,
Guy
that
knows his
beautiful
shit.
bologna and melted cheese combo, place that right on top, and topped it off with a fry. Now you tell me, how does it...
That looks like beast mode, baby. Beast mode, baby. Okay, I actually just recovered from strep throat. I'm just excited to have my energy back and back to my groove. A lot of you may not know this about me, but at the age of 15, I was a hefty 360 pounds. Now, currently, I am 269.2 pounds. I'm slowly creeping towards middle age. I have a family, a mortgage. I think about my mortality all the time, and I've been trying to lose a few pounds. It's always been a struggle, which is why I'm really excited to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Noom. Noom is a consumer-led digital health platform. As a leading expert of behavioral change, Noom leverages a powerful combination of human coaches, psychology, and science to empower people to take control of their health. I've tried every trendy diet under the sun. I've even tried going back to sheer force of will, and I just don't have that drive anymore. And that is why I really like Noom, because Noom gets behind how the mind works. It tells you the why behind the decisions that you make. Noom has food and exercise trackers. It helps me keep an eye on my weight. There are daily quizzes and little tidbits of knowledge that really enforce what Noom is trying to teach you, and it's kind of fun. But personally, what I really liked about Noom is that it almost feels like a friend that's always there for you and waiting, because it's not based around this idea of punishment, like, oh, you ate this, you did something bad. It's like, no, you can eat that, and here's the lesson. If you don't do this lesson today, you can do it tomorrow. It'll be here waiting. So every day that goes by that I don't open up one of these quizzes, it's there. It's not mad at me, but it's there. Click the link in the description below or go to noom.com/chefbt to get your free evaluation. Again, that's noom.com/chefbt for your free evaluation.
Now we have our final sandwich to make, and we're gonna use one of the cheapest meat you can find, chuck roast. And here's how I like to do it. The first thing to do is to get it seasoned real good.
Yeah, so Guga's right. It is known to be, it is the cheapest cut. It's also known to be very tough too. It doesn't have a lot of flavor, or rather I should say it's not as flavorful as the more famous cuts like skirt steak, ribeye, filet mignon. These cuts are known for their tenderness and for their flavor, but chuck is beef, and beef is delicious, and as long as you cook it right, you can make it absolutely awesome.
A good amount of salt first, followed by Guga's barbecue rub. And by the way, you can make it yourself at home. The video will be on the link on the description. A new recipe for my barbecue rub is coming real soon, as I've been working quite hard on it, because as you can see, once I was done, everything was perfectly coated with the seasoning. As now the only thing left to do is to go ahead and take it outside. So into the smoker he went at 250 degrees Fahrenheit
low and
for
slow.
about 4 hours. Once the time was up, take a look. I got a nice color on them, but notice that the edges started to get a little crispy. That's actually a good thing. We want to tenderize it even more. To do that, I got some aluminum foil, placed my steak right in there, and added a good amount of butter right on top. We want it nice and tender but not falling apart. So after wrapping the whole thing up, into my oven it goes at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour. As in the end, you are left with this. And if you're wondering if it's tender, oh man, it is falling apart on me. But I don't want this thing to shred. Remember, I wanted to have some texture as it goes on the sandwich. So I went ahead and took some slices. And as you can see,
no one can mess with Guga and his meat cookery, man. The guy, I have zero comments comments.
Glistening, but we need smaller chunks, so I went ahead and chopped the whole thing. This is delicious, and if you've never done it, try a chuck roast.
Fuck yeah, that's delicious.
Talking about love it, the next ingredient is a cheese. Cheese whiz. We're making a Philly cheesesteak with chuck roast.
Yo! Also, how do you prefer your cheesesteak? Because for me, cheese whiz all day. Adam Reaver, I know you're hating it that I'm saying this right now. Shout out to Adam Reaver, fu-tone.com. But this is where you and I differ. Cheese whiz all day, baby. Cheese whiz all day.
All you gotta do is to heat it up in the pan. As once I was happy with the consistency, I got some bread, put my chuck roast right on top, followed by that cheese whiz. Now this is inexpensive and it should taste real good. At least that's my hope. Because now I say it is enough talking.
So I know for sure the B-roll that they just showed is different from the sandwich that he's holding. The one in the B-roll definitely has more cheese than this one, and that is the sandwich I want more. I just want more of that. Maybe you don't want as much cheese because the beef is already very heavy. No, fuck that. I want the cheese, not for real.
All right, everybody, here we got our beautiful sandwiches, I must say myself.
I don't know what this video is about, but already I like it.
Me too.
I love sandwiches, and to see a spread like this, I'm very happy and I'm very excited.
Very good. All right, so take a look, guys. Let me know which one looks more appetizing to you and which one you guys want to go first.
This one down here in the middle.
I'm a simple man. I see bread, meat, cheese. I don't want anything else. This is my go-to right here.
Enough talking. Let's go for it. All right. I'm salivating. So this one here is a chuck roast, all right, with some cheese whiz, straight up bread. I would say this one is as manly as the sandwich can get. You guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
Meat, cheese, and bread. Let's give it a go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Enough. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. It's so perfect.
Cheap meat just become incredible. That's all I gotta say about that. Low and slow barbecue does the job, everybody.
I'll say chuck roast.
This is a very nice, inexpensive sandwich and will make a lot of people
I
happy.
can tell if I eat this whole thing, I'll be pretty full.
There you go.
My favorite part of this is the cheese whiz. As soon as you take a bite, you get a nice river of cheese that flows down your mouth. You have that nice, delicious, beefy, slightly smoky. You can taste a little bit of the smoke on this meat. I really, really like this. This is the one I was the most excited for, and I'm very happy that's where we started because this thing is awesome, guys.
For the sandwiches I do, they are pretty much like the polar opposite of what Guga is doing for this particular video. I know he has other sandwich videos. For my shop, it's more about, it's like composed dishes in a fine, in a fine dining restaurant put into a sandwich. We have great reviews, knock on wood, so far so good, and the shop's doing well. But equally as much, enjoy simple sandwiches just like this. In fact, when I'm at home and I want to make myself a quick lunch, usually I make myself a super simple sandwich. I don't go all out and crazy. That's what my shop's for. It's that crazy place you go to have something over the top, but also, kind of out there. But this, I'm always down to have something simple too. And as far as that particular sandwich, I have zero comments on the execution. Say what you will about Cheese Whiz, but as far as his beef cookery and stuff and just the, the final product and is it delicious or not, mic drop,
The second one.
Which one?
I'm really excited for this one here. So I will say this, I've never had smoked bologna before, but I had to give it a try as soon as it came out of the smoker. That thing is delicious, everyone. I highly recommend you smoking yourself a bologna. It's fantastic.
Damn, I need
now,
to
these
smoke
are all
some
combinations
bologna.
together. I have no idea what it's gonna taste like, but I'm excited.
This looks like a sandwich that's right up my alley.
Nice and thick.
Yeah, that's right. And that gooey egg just became a sauce for the sandwich.
Oh, there's an egg in here.
There you go, nice and gooey, delicious.
I say that is enough talking.
I also say that is enough talking. Let's give it a try. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is good.
I've never had a bologna sandwich and been like, oh, that's nice.
Oh, that is nice. This is not the bologna sandwich I used to have in high school where they just throw the bologna in there with a little bit of mustard and that's it. Salty, savory, gooey. Wow. The bread is just perfect. It is amazing.
The thing that catches me the most by surprise, and I can't believe I'm saying this, there's a little bit of bark on that bologna.
Yeah.
And it's nice and sweet. It's completely different than what you're used to.
I have never had smoked bologna like that that before, and I have to imagine it just takes it to a whole new level. I have a smoker at home, and in fact, I've been doing specials one day only bi-weekly specials at Mission Sandwich Social. A lot of it's with smoked meats because I love smoking meats as well. And I may not do a bologna, or maybe I will do a bologna sandwich.
It's an awesome experience. As a sandwich lover, this is what I wish I could have every single day because this is a great, great sandwich.
Bologna sandwiches, they're not that good. This is a good bologna sandwich. There's a crust on the bologna. Then on top of that, you got like 4 times the cheese that you would expect. And then the egg.
Very nice sandwich. Highly recommend. Feeds a lot of people. Very inexpensive. Nice. Very last one. Are you guys ready? Let's give this one a go.
Honestly, if I was sitting at that table, this is the sandwich I would go to first.
This one looks the most appetizing to me. All right, let's give this a go, everybody. Now, there's some surprise on the bottom as well. A little bit of cheese with some sausage meat on the top, some chimichurri, a perfectly cooked fried egg. Enough talking. Let's give this a go. Are you ready?
I have never been more ready.
All right, enough talking. Cheers, everybody.
Oh my God.
Look at that. Look at that, everybody. Oh, man. Oh, don't go anywhere, my egg. I love you so much. I don't know about you guys, but I have my favorite right here. This one is just extra special, everybody.
That
I was
chimichurri,
not
man.
expecting all
Next
of
level.
this flavor and all of this texture because this bread is kind of hollowed out. As soon as you bite, you get a lot of just gooey cheese. It's very delightful. The meat is awesome. The chimichurri is fantastic. The little egg yolk running through everything to add that little kick on top. Perfect. I love this.
The egg yolk is what makes it. I think I like the egg better on this one than I did on that one, even though I liked it on that one as well. Also, Argentinian sausage.
For me, this one right here, everybody, has an incredible flavor, even though these other two are amazing, but I really prefer this one. Leo, which one is your best?
I'm struggling right now because they were all great sandwiches and they all had individual things that I like more than others. But to choose one overall,
I know my answer.
Hold on. Which one is yours? That one?
The egg sauce.
Yeah, this one is amazing, everybody. How about you, Leo?
it's got to be this one.
A chuck roast.
Like I said, I'm a simple man. Beef, bread, cheese, can't beat it for me.
Just like I mentioned in the Joshua Wiseman video, and some people trolled me saying like, oh, you know, that goes to show you, you know, chef, that goes to show you restaurants are overcharging, or, you know, chefs trying to, you know, make something out of nothing and saying Josh is wrong. You know, that's just the food cost. Well, no, truthfully, yeah, that is just food costs that they're talking about. Doesn't account for the time that you have to prep. Well, let's go even further back. Driving and or walking or bicycling, however you get to your supermarkets, going there, picking it out, bringing it home. If you're not cooking it right away, you're putting it into the fridge. Your fridge costs you energy, right? And then the prep time to cook in and all. And obviously some of those sandwiches are a lot quicker and easier than others. Actually, none of those are simple. I mean, you know, they're maybe simple sandwiches, but the meat cookery and all of them, you know, you smoke them all. It takes time. So for these videos, at least, I always look at it from a professional kitchen standpoint, how I would do it, or I'm just giving you my opinion. And yeah, it is $1.05, $1.50 cost, but think about all the other things that get added onto it, the wear and tear on your equipment, the hours that you have to pay your employees, the prep cook, the short order cook, all that stuff. So yes, I do agree on the price, but that's not the whole story, so to speak. However, that's not a knock on Guga. It's not a knock on Josh. I'm just telling you fact. At the end of the day, dude, you know, sandwiches like this, you know, you can make something extremely delicious and inexpensive, but again, it takes time. And if you're willing to put in the time, the results speak for themselves. In Guga's video, you know, you may not be as good as Guga, you may not be a pro, but you don't have to be to make amazing food. And guess what? Every time you try, you get better at it the next time you do it. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. With that said, I am Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef, and I'll see you really soon.